No. Shadow play is an invention of man which reflects his experience of nature and of his thought. Next one. Yes. Uh, Without puppeteer, we can't perform shadow puppetry, right? So Dala, he is a puppeteer. Puppeteer in Indonesia, we say Dala. He is an expert and storyteller. He must be an actor. Must be a singer. Must be a character manipulator. He has the ability to make puppet to walk. He should be a public entertainer, handle the puppets carefully, imitates different voices, can invent his own stories. So through that, we can we should know he must be a polyglot. What are the main source? Apart during those period, the main source were Ramayana and the two epics, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. And in Indonesia, Indonesian folk tales characters like we have a in Indonesian they have a Samer and his family and his mythological character like Chandra, Panchi. These are all combined, blended with the characters from Ramayana, Mahabharata, and made portrayed through the screen with an innovation. Next month. With the help of the writers and translators, by knowing this importance and the innovative technique, some of the writers went there and did research and written about Shadow Vayankulit in their works. So through that, with the help of them, it traveled throughout the world. It spread with the help of migrants to spread their tradition and culture. Some of the prominent members, like writers like John McClellan, he's an American, Kathy Foley, Matthew Cohen, Jennifer Goodlander, James Brandon, Christopher Koch. They are all written about Indian shadow puppet. Still, they are writing a book. It has a literary history and it has become a study of literature. Next one. So, coming into the point, theoretical framework, we can use so many theories into those novels. Narratology, I have chosen narratology, performance theory, semiotics. Narratology, Gerard Genet's narrative theory, narrative levels. So, shadow puppetry, it acts as a narrative device. Performance theory, Richard Sechner's performance theory. He has written a book called Performance Theory. He has given a social cultural phenomena of performance. For example, shadow puppetry as a performance art. Semiotics, we can use Ferdinand de Chausseau's Signs and Symbols meanings, semiotics in shadow puppetry. Next one. So Genet's narrative theory, his theory focuses on narrative structure, time, mood, and voice. One of his work, Narrative Discuss and Essay in Method, provides a framework for analyzing narrative techniques. Next one. So we can apply this Gerard's theory and performance theory in the novel Shadow Play. Before going into that, let's see the brief summary of the novel. So the novel has two parts. Part one, the story revolves around the life of the protagonist named Guntur, who is a Javanese puppeteer. He falls in love with a girl named Chandra, who dies later. This story resembles the original China Emperor Wuhan story. In the part two, he uses the storytelling art to bring her back from the land of dead by performing Vayankulit plays. So, according to this, according to normal law, behind the screen, I mean, even in Indonesia, Vayankulit, behind the screen, it represents as land of dead, and on the screen where the audience sit is represented as land of alive. Narrative structure. So, as I said earlier, narrative structure, non-linear and complex narratives. We can see in Norman Locke's Shadow Play, the story has a complex narrative and non-linear narrative. Locke's narrative jumps between timeliness, mirroring memories, and non-linearity. So, the story is presented out of a chronological order, as I said earlier. So, beginning, it starts with the play and it suddenly jumps into his flashback and it suddenly jumps into the future. So this is how the novel goes. multiple perspectives, interweaving narrative threads and characters' perspective create complexity. There is a blur reaction between the reality and the illusion. We can see when we read the novel. Innovative storytelling. Locke's use of storytelling, in this shadow play and puppetry, innovatively conveys themes and emotions. Next one. So next we can apply performance theory. It is a broad area, and he mainly focused on, Richard Sishness mainly focused on 7 functions of performance. Let's oral tradition. Let's talk about oral tradition and performance. Oral tradition, art of storytelling, turns as a paradigm for performance. It helps to regain the importance of art, culture, and tradition. Through performance, oral tradition explores its identity. The chosen works, that means that I have given in the previous slide, the chosen works makes a metaphorical use and represents a transcription of performance element form. Next one. Additionally, we cannot simply talk about talk about theoretical framework. We should talk about the technical aspects of shadow puppetry in the novel. We can see theory as well as the technical aspects of shadow puppetry. So the author has to inculcate the plot and character techniques in the novel to gain the originality of shadow puppetry. So additionally, it also focuses on the plot, character, techniques, and aspects of shadow puppetry. Histories and past deeds of heroes and ancestor stories were acted as a tool for performance. Gradually, this paved the broader way to shadow puppetry, that the puppets only rely on the performance and scripts. So performance theory originated in many various fields. Wallace Bacon is considered as the father of performance theory. It develops during 1880s. It is applied with the help of Richard Sishness books, where the author has briefed the some functions of performance that have to be followed by the performer. So it is not the 7 function must be followed by the performer or the writer. Any functions, any 5 or 3 can be followed by the author or the performer. He also says not every performance will have every purpose. So focuses on theoretical, this theory focuses on theoretical aspects of everyday life. Next one. So his 7 functions of performances are: first, to entertain. It is general. To entertain, to create beauty, to make or change identity, to make or foster community, to heal, to teach or persuade, to deal with sacred or demonic. So these 7 functions can be seen in the novel Shadow Play. The author uses sacreds and demons, and the story. The protagonist, he himself performed a story, and which heals himself. First, to entertain. Okay, the protagonist, he's the one who needs out the shadows by performing stories and his storytelling skill to help the audience to enjoy. He had a theater. He had a puppetry theater. He had a skill of storytelling. The author says that he has storytelling in his heart. So this helps, this way of his innovation, this innovative technique pulls the audience to watch. It helps to entertain the audience, to create beauty. Yes, to the journey to the land of dead. So in the novel, you can find out after his lover, his beloved death, he wants to bring back her. So he went to the land of dead, that means behind the screen, to bring back his lover. The musical aspect, the voice shows his intelligence and cleverness, refinement of techniques makes the story more beautiful. Next one. To make or change identity. So here, he is the protagonist of the novel Gunther, okay, outside of the story. But however, inside or behind the screen, he takes the role of Arjuna. So here we can, as I said earlier, Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Indonesian mythological characters blended and it is portrayed in the novel. So Guntur is a mythological character name. Arjuna, we all know that one of the Pandavas, and Rama. You all know that from the Ramayana. So he takes the role of Arjuna once, and Guntur and Rama. He performed so many stories. And the specific title he has given is Abduction of Sinta. That means Sita, they named as Sinta. I mean, Indonesia, it is named as Sinta. So to make or foster community. So with the help of this, his storytelling art pulls the audience to watch his performance and to heal. Yes, the performance he has given, he has he has portrayed different way of performance, different kinds of performance, which helps the audience to heal and also bringing back her beloved one. It beloved one is heals the protagonist. So here Gunther heals himself by performing his own story. So even though he died in the reality, he brings life to her lover and created a story, and he lives behind the screen.